Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this last probably about 40 minutes of Copenhagen Dreaming for this week. And we have just entered the so-called Dream Factory. The four young Fae and Felicia, who's a local troll, have entered this place, which is, it's a bar and a nightclub and a cafe and all of these good things rolled into one. And, take it away.
Okay, we have nachos, I assume.
Yes, you do have nachos. And if anybody else wants something a bit more substantial to eat, she's going to fork out for that as well.
It's so nice.
Do we meet Jade at any point?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay. Then no alarm.
So yeah, Jonas says, his mouth full of nachos. We went to the zoo.
Right. What?
We met a wolf and a crazy lady.
A wolf? And the wolf, I take it, was not behind the enclosure?
No, he turned
No.
into a man.
And he was angry at the crazy lady.
So the crazy lady, I take it, was... Okay.
She called herself Katrina Karina.
Karina.
One of those.
Yeah, Karina, I know about her. Yeah, she
So-
is. Depending on which one of her you meet, she's either extremely nice and fun or sickeningly dangerous.
Well, she changed while I was walking past her.
Ugh.
What exactly is she?
She's a vampire.
Oh, good.
But
I'm
The
kind of
sun is
happy I
still out.
didn't know that at the point I walked past her.
Wait, so
The sun had just set.
it's so
And she was inside the house thingy.
so. What that means that those what are they called? Underworld films. They're real then. I mean, the werewolf that was there was kind of keen to. I mean, apart from the fact that it was the zoo, they couldn't fight each other, but they wanted to.
Those two groups have hated each other with a very, very serious passion for thousands and thousands of years. I don't know if I would say that the movies are true, because vampires and werewolves in those films do things that they don't do in real life, and what they do in, some of the things they do in real life is a lot more impressive.
I'm sure. I mean, I've never actually seen them. Obviously, again, I'm
No,
not really old enough,
and,
but
and I hope that you will never have to see what the two of those groups will do to each other for real, because it's really horrible.
As far as I understood the wolf man, he didn't particularly like us.
yeah,
And we were supposed to be happy that we were in the zoo.
Yeah, you see, people like me, trolls. The werewolves in Denmark are kind of... Some of them take the old mythology a little too seriously, and they think of us as, well, Jotun, as ice giants, and that we all need to be killed.
but you're so nice.
Yeah, they don't seem to care much.
I'm sorry, but that's racist.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Well, actually, I'm not sorry. I'm just angry.
Yeah, the werewolves here in and around Copenhagen are a bunch of rank arseholes. And I know that I shouldn't use language like that, but there's really no other way to describe them.
I don't mind. I've heard worse from my mom.
Yeah, but your mom is cool.
Does everyone know everyone?
No, but I met Jonas when he chrysalised, and
Oh!
and we've basically, I've visited his place a couple of times since then, because officially his mom thinks that I'm one of his archery buddies.
I mean, you could probably have a massive bow.
I do,
Oh, you gotta show me.
of course.
Wait, you're into archery?
Yeah,
He
yeah,
looks
yeah.
at Jonas.
Yeah,
it's
decently
really,
good at it.
it's really cool. Where is it? I think I'd like to get involved with something like that.
I live out in Hørsholm.
Oh,
There are
Where
plenty
do you
of
live?
clubs in Copenhagen if you want to get started, Jasmine. I can definitely help find you a place where you can get started.
that'll be
Quick
wonderful.
question:
Yes.
is pets allowed in this area?
In here? Yeah.
Okay.
Shade
Then he
is,
hasn't hidden the dog in his shirt.
Shade is cool. He doesn't mind.
The dog is in Sunny's lap.
Oh, there he is. Felicia says and waves to this fellow behind the bar.
Oh, cool.
Who? Where?
Oh,
That's Shade. He owns the place.
Sunny looks over. His tail starts wagging immediately.
Jonas leans in. So what's he?
Oh, he's, as far as I know, he's just mortal.
oh,
Oh, I thought all the cool people were special.
No, well, he is special, but just not in that way.
and you complain at me for stereotyping.
No, he's just a cool dude.
I mean, we've met a werewolf and a vampire and a dragon today.
Yeah, it's been a pretty full day, hasn't it? Suddenly a talking eagle doesn't feel like all that much, I take it.
No,
I mean,
no.
it was the journey getting to him that was the exciting bit.
But that's always the case, though, isn't it? That the journey is the interesting bit.
Well,
Mhm.
I especially believe that for obvious reasons.
She leans back a little in her chair and looks basically, leans her head backwards until she's looking back towards the bar, and she shouts to Shade if he can whip up some of his specials. And he just nods and goes, "Sure. Should I put it on your tab?" He says, "No, I'll clear my tab today while I'm here." And he nods and goes, "Sure, no problem." A moment later, he comes over to the what's it called, to the table with 5 huge mugs of hot chocolate with marshmallows.
Oh, I don't know you, but you are my new best friend.
Sunny has the biggest grin, but he's not looking at the hot chocolate.
So, and he just Felicia takes out her credit card and gives it to him so he can take care of the payment. And she takes her mug and raises it as if to, for everyone else to chink their mug against hers.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Skull.
Yep, for a good first day out, I think.
Yes. Yes, we did what we were told. We did what we needed to, and we actually helped some people.
Yes,
That's
you did.
worth feeling good about.
Yes, you did.
No, sir, you can't have it. It's poison for you. No.
Give the dog
No, sir.
your food. Oh, you're drinking this, guys.
You're not helping Jasmine.
That's actually
Keeping
not,
the arm out of reach
it's not
and no
actually,
flying inside.
okay.
So it doesn't take long before before Shade comes back over with some doggy treats as well.
Ah, thank you. He was about to attack me.
Yeah, I could kind of tell, he says. Don't worry, they're on the house. He heads back to the bar. The corgi just looks after him, and then looks up at Sonny, and then back to Shade again, because he's my new best friend too.
Hey! Sunny looks hurt.
You didn't want to let me have your chocolate. Meh.
It's poison to you. I don't want you to die.
Damn it. Okay, my second best friend. The dog attacks the doggy treats.
So, Felicia, are there other places we should know about that are safe?
Yeah, the round tower and the church attached to it, Church of the Trinity. Those are also safe spaces.
Cool. And I imagine it's more difficult for a wolf to get in there.
Yes, I would certainly say that walking in there in wolf form would be difficult.
Well, he did turn into a man, so he might not have to.
That's the point. He could just walk in there in human form.
Yeah.
Just be happy
How-
that he wasn't in his war form. That's halfway
So-
between man and wolf, and it's 3 meters tall.
Cool.
Can we
Dangerous.
recognize them when they're not human looking?
Not really. Some of them are super banal and really painful to be around, but that's rare for the werewolves. It's more commonplace for the vampires.
Hmm.
So, according to him, if they're attacking us, just run.
Yeah. Basically, I'd say don't try to fight it out with a werewolf. They're even us trolls and even the she have difficulty fighting them off. They're built for war. That's that's the only way to put it. Really, is they were made to fight.
Hey, can they see our real thing?
Not unless you enchant them.
Because the lady said we were sparkling.
Yeah, they can see. I think some of them can see auras, or something. I don't. That's kind of weird for me, but I think that's what they can do.
Hmm.
Not all of them. They have, just like we have different abilities between us, so do they.
Hey, that's a good question. How do we do that?
Oh, well, she says I can start to teach you. That shouldn't be a problem. Now that you've been out doing your first little chore, then I can certainly help you with that.
Magic, magic, magic.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, look how we found the bird first. He shows the sketches of first the bird preening itself on the giraffe, then the bopping bird as the giraffe is running.
Yes, she takes one look at that and says, Those are quite good, but there is something... There is something here I don't understand.
Hmm?
Yeah, you see, you do realize that the bird is the word, right?
Too late. Already made that joke.
Damn.
Big
He
grim.
gives her a deadpan look.
Which one?
Bird.
Both of
bird is
them.
the word.
Oh.
Bird.
It has been so long since Charlie. This is deep.
Oh, what?
It's been a long time since Charlie what? Sorry?
Side.
Yeah.
I'm actually on your side right now, Charlie.
Oh, come on, that wasn't too bad.
No, the worst was when I keep forgetting your name. Sonny jumped into the enclosure.
Oh, yeah.
What?
You did what?
You jumped into the giraffes.
Yeah, you see the giraffe running.
Oh.
That's why I was running. I couldn't help but
Oh.
laugh.
It was a very,
I
very
had to draw it.
not exactly. It wasn't a very smart move.
It wasn't thought through. I think that's the best way of putting it. It wasn't thought
Well, it-
through.
Wasn't thought through running after the dragon, but it turned out to be helpful that I did.
That's true. That's true.
I guess you're even with yourself then.
I guess so.
And if I hadn't jumped in, the bird would never have flown to the elephants where it could get its attention without looking like a complete moron.
So all in all, it's a win.
I'll drink.
Follow your nose.
Sometimes...
Very.
See, she says, here's the thing. Now that we're on the topic of how we do our
Magic.
magic, yes. How we use our abilities. The thing is, she says, what we can do is obviously supernatural. So in order to sort of break the ice on reality before we do our thing, just to make it a little easier for us to do whatever it is we want to do, we do something weird, something strange. Like, for example, if you have time, and this is just an example, suddenly do a hopscotch routine where you're standing right in the middle of the street or in the middle of Copenhagen without there actually being like hopscotch marks on the ground. Just suddenly do one of those things while everybody is looking at you, because yeah, sure, it makes you look weird, but because you get people around you to already think, hey, that's weird, your abilities will work better.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's kind of like, just, you know, it's like taking in winter when you have a frozen lake and you want to fish in it. It's like taking a drill and just making a little hole in the ice that is reality, so you can get to the fish and the and in the water beneath it.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
That's just and that thing with the hopscotch thing is only an example. The important thing is, don't do the same thing twice. At least not when the same people can see it, because magic doesn't like to be routine.
Routine is very boring.
Yeah, routine is banal. So try to come up with something new and weird every time, and the weirder, the easier it will be for you to do. But doing, you know, anything, suddenly stopping up in the middle of Copenhagen and throwing yourself into singing an Italian opera aria, that's going to make everything a whole lot easier. Doing basically a one-person flash mob is going to make things easier. Picking your nose, rolling up a booger and flicking it at the nearest window in a super theatrical manner is a lot quicker, but won't work nearly as well. It won't give you as big of an impact.
Mm-hmm.
Like running in place.
Like running in place is a good example too, yes.
So maximum impact, maximum effort.
Maximum impact for maximum effort, yes.
So basically, it's tied to what you do.
Yeah. That's that's something that goes for all of our abilities, not just one kind, you know.
Interesting.
Just remember, she says, and looks at Jonas, just remember that if you're planning on doing something that would be silly, it'll fail. You can't be made to look silly.
Oh, why?
Because you're she. It's in your nature.
Oh, so I'm like, because I'm an elf.
Yes. You can never be made to look foolish or silly.
You have
I'll
to.
have to.
Unfair advantage.
There's a lot, doesn't it? That's you're part. I have no idea what it must be like being part of a people that have to even go to the bathroom in a dignified manner.
Well,
Well,
apparently, it happens without me trying. He grins.
imagine, though, that we have creatures like the puka, and they have spent thousands of years trying to find that elusive chink in the she armor that will allow them to make them look like fools. So you're probably going to experience a lot of attempts at it.
Okay.
It's sort of a running joke for them.
Sure.
I mean, they can try, I guess.
They can try, and they will inevitably fail, but most of them are good-natured about it. That's the thing, especially the Seelie ones, the summer court. They will try and fail. The hamtastic Mr. Bacon, for example, is pretty good at he's got some pretty good ideas, but no, it never works.
So even if someone spills like tar on me and covers me in feathers, I'll just look like a dignified bird.
They will miss. Or
Oh,
yes, you
wow.
will, or you will look like a dignified bird. It will land in a way where instead of you looking like a fluffy chicken, it will give you almost fashionable sheen of feathers or something, but most likely they will simply miss.
That's cool.
Are this
So
something
it's
Fae can do? Or is it different depending on the Fae you are?
It's different depending on the Fae. This is something that only works for the she.
Huh.
The rest of us, unfortunately, can be made to look like complete dingleberries.
I know, it's happened a couple of times already. Let's just say my first flying lesson didn't go well.
Oh dear. Okay. No, I imagine that must have been a bit undignified.
I collided with a bloody window.
Ow.
Yeah, the window.
So basically, you're telling me that what we need to do is make a cutout of you in mid-flight out of black paper and hang it in the window so you get scared away.
He gives her the deadpan look again.
She
Sure.
can't help but giggle though.
Jonas chuckles.
could be worse. I was asked to make a radio. It started burning.
Ugh. Aye.
Yeah. Obviously playing hot tracks.
Yeah.
That was
yeah.
actually a good one.
Very good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, didn't get that much of a laugh.
No, I imagine it
All
must
happening.
have made you irritated when it happened.
Yeah, the smell of burning electronics is hard washing out.
It is.
Yeah.
Let me guess, Rana was involved in that?
Yeah, she asked me to make it.
Right. She is an adorable asshole.
But
So you're good
and of
with
course,
tech?
her. Yes.
When you don't burn it, I mean.
When I don't burn it, it usually works in some way, shape, or fashion.
Really kind of cool.
Yeah, most of the. Rana actually made a torch that has shadow figures in it.
That's very cool.
Yeah, unless you
Oh, you fell out there.
What?
Unless you, and then we didn't hear.
want to see something and shadow gets in.
Oh right, she nods.
What?
Yeah. Unless you want to see something and the shadow figures get in the way.
Yeah.
Oh,
So yeah, that's that I imagine would be a bit of a problem, but she says and takes another swig of the chocolate. The thing is, we all have our strengths and weaknesses. Every kind of fairy has an affinity with one kind of area that we can affect more easily with our abilities, with our magic. For example, for the she, you're particularly good at affecting other fae,
Nice.
and
I think.
it's very useful. And
Does that include myself?
yes, it does.
Score.
And knockers, if I remember correctly, she says you're really good at affecting objects, things. Because tinkerers and so on. So each of us have our own strengths like that. And then other than that, we can all learn all the different abilities that are out there. I don't know all of them, obviously. I only know a few things. But the thing is, between all the fae that we have in Copenhagen, everything, all the different kinds of abilities, somebody will know them. So you can definitely learn. Somebody will know them.
What kind of magic do you know?
I'm pretty good at an art that we call primal.
What does that do?
It's making me stronger and so on.
Like you need that.
Hey, it helps when you need to hit a dragon.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Just saying. But
Is Thomas good at that too?
Thomas is pretty good at that and a couple of other things, but I'm not too sure exactly what it is he can do. But I know Thomas is pretty good at primal as well. It's pretty common for trolls to know at least some of that because, you know, why not play to your own strengths? Literally, she says, and flexes, which is a damned impressive sight.
Sonny zones out for a moment, then checks his head. Well, what is Satyrs good at? Don't comment on that. He looks directly over at Jasmine.
Out of character, I can't remember what it is. Your affinity is off the top of my head. Let
Ooh,
me just see.
I think it's Faye or Seem.
Not sure. Well,
I actually don't remember either.
no, but she lets you know what it is anyway, and we can look it up.
Okay.
So yeah. And if you guys, as I said, I can't teach you much except, of course, the things I already know myself, but I would probably know who to point you towards, you know, if there's something you would like to learn. And a good idea there is definitely, you know, go and hang out at the courts, both the summer and the winter court. Go and hang out, talk to people, ask them what they can do. And you know, they will definitely let you know because hey, well, quite frankly, it's something that, you know, it's kind of bragging rights.
Oh, so like I can do magical door spells. Can you do that?
Exactly.
Magical door spells.
Yeah, I mean, like with the summer court.
That's when you go to the summer court, you have to go through several hidden doors that have been created using an art that we call Wayfare.
Oh, we're told these had it. He takes up his leather-bound
Oh, that's
artist
cool.
tools.
That's excellent. That helps.
So you can make magical doors?
When I learn how to, yeah.
Cool.
At least with these.
Yeah. That is pretty cool. You would be able to basically that it's almost like a cheat code for a computer game, isn't it? You have
As far as I understood from Maya last time I talked with her, she was looking at them and she said if you learn how to, when you draw a door, you can go through it.
that's pretty that's true.
I don't feel like painting.
No
You
problem.
should paint Felicia.
Hey,
He looks up at Felicia.
she does another flex and a pose. Like, hey, I don't know if you want to. I'm
Yay!
I'm good with it.
He finds out the same A3 sketch pad he had with him
Yeah.
and takes out the brushes with no paint.
Yeah.
And just starts painting.
Cool.
Cool.
He looks completely focused. Like, you can't even get to him right now.
No, he's in a completely different world.
Hmm.
But you know what? I'm actually thinking that it's not a bad place to fade out for this session. That, you know, you guys sitting in the Dream Factory and Felicia getting painted. It's a pretty good place to fade out.
Yes.
And then that is it for the first session of Copenhagen Dreaming. But we will be back next week with more. As was the case with our with our werewolf campaign. The 3 prequels are XP less. I don't give the players XP, but they get access to some of their supernatural powers after each of these sessions. So no XP for today, but we'll figure out when I start the recording. We'll figure out what abilities it is you each have when we start next time. And yeah, so from us here at CharismaToAC, to you listening audience, thank you for listening in to this first episode, and we hope you will be back for more. So yeah, from here, bye.
Bye.